servants.
First of all, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, whose name in the Paleo Hebrew is Mashiach Yahushua, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. I'm Captain Lamech of the Servants Assembly, and I'll come to you with a quick exhortation on endurance, man, because right now, a lot of us is coming into a point where most of our fears that we feared coming up over the years is coming to fruition. Everything is hard. The hand of the Lord is heavy on the earth right now. He's making things and turning things every which way. And he's using the different nations to go against each other. The salvation of Israel is coming faster and faster. It's speeding up. Jacob's trouble is coming around the corner. And a lot of us, we need to find a way to endure because the kingdom is at hand, right? So the first precept I'm going to get is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24. It reads, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize?" Right. So, as much as we don't like to admit it, a lot of us that's running this race, some of us are not gonna make it, and some of us is. The Most High, He already ordained those that will be chosen from the very beginning. But that doesn't mean stop running. That doesn't mean, all of us getting together and racing, because you don't know, right? It says, "But one receiveth the prize. So run, that ye may obtain. And verse 25, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things," right? So anything that you strive for, it could be martial arts, it could be any kind of thing that you take an interest in. Any man that striveth for that mastery, the scriptures say, is temperate in all things. Because a man that is unstable is not going to be able to think clearly in order to achieve that which he's trying to gain. Anything, if you're trying to get this kingdom, if you're trying to be better at precepts, if you're trying to be better at teaching, the way that you speak, how you convey the message, different niches that you may have, all of these things come from a clear and temperate mind. It doesn't come from an unstable doctrine over here, doctrine over there mind, right? It comes from sound doctrine, and it comes from the spirit and really wanting to teach. If you really want to get some information, by default, you'll think of different ways to come at that person in order to get your point across. If you really care about if you really care about them getting the understanding, right? It says, "Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown." TD snakes, Creflo dollars, all these different preachers, right? All these different pork chop eating preachers, they do it for a corruptible crown. If you had a dollar bill in your hand, once you rip it a few times, it's not usable anymore. Most stores won't take it. That's a corruptible crown. That's a corruptible gift. If you go and buy clothes with it, if you do it to up your fashion, that's corruptible. Those clothes, if set for a certain amount of time, will mildew. They'll have holes in them, right? These different creatures, roaches, all these different things will eat them. Rats will run through them. If you strive for gold chains and diamonds and all these different things, man, hey, those things over time will begin to deteriorate, right? So they do it for a corruptible crown. You have those that they want to make 100 hours of work, but then they don't want to keep the Sabbath day. They can care less about the Sabbath day because they know that it's time and a half. Well, now you got time and a half. Oh, you get this job. Oh, you could do this. You could do that. You could impress this person. You can impress that person. But that means you're doing it for a corruptible crown, right? But it reads, but we an incorruptible crown. What's that incorruptible crown? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The law, statutes, and commandments. The kingdom of God. The service of God. Right? The grafting in. Right? All these different things are incorruptible. Will be in rulership. Anybody that's in rulership is gonna have peace. Right? So the Most High, he's trying to give us this thing, but you have to run in order to be able to obtain this thing, right? Verse 26, it says, I therefore so run, not as one uncertain. Right? So you can't run like you don't know where you're going. Oh man, I'm running, but I don't know which direction I'm going. I'm uncertain of the direction. I wonder what's around that corner. I don't know what's going on. So the scripture, Paul is saying he doesn't run like he's uncertain of where he's going, what direction he's going, what he's doing. He's not running like that. He's running like he knows where the hell he's going. He's running like he knows that if he goes this direction, he keeps these law, statutes, and commandments, he does this, that, and the third, that he's going to get that incorruptible crown. He's going to get that kingdom, right? That's why he's running. You don't run like you don't know what's going on. It says, not as one uncertain, so fight I, right? So he says he fights, but not as one that beateth the air. Don't be around here shadow boxing. You're just swinging at nothing. You're not connecting anywhere, right? Now that may be good for training if you sparring, getting ready for a fight, but Paul is telling you, don't do this as if you're wasting your time. Don't fight as if you're wasting your time. Fight as if this is my last fight, whether it be a weed demon, a cigarette demon, sex demon, masturbation demon, any kind of demons that you may have. You fight that thing as if you're trying to win. You don't fight them as if you don't know whether you're going to win or not. That's uncertainty. Or you're fighting as if you're beating the air like there's nobody there. You're not going to give your full effort if there's nobody there to hit. So fight as if somebody is physically there and they're trying to take you down, like these demons and these spirits out here. It says, verse 27, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, right? So that's just like wrestling, man. You get that evil spirit, you get that demon, and you hold him up under you, and you hold that joker down, man. You kind of put him in a full Nelson, man. Right? You kind of get your elbow and kind of put it on their throat. You know what I'm saying? You fight and you put that demon in a subjection. What's the sense of doing it just to do it? What's the sense of doing it for show? No, you do it because you understand and you believe that in Yahweh, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushua, that these things will come to pass, and I'm not doing this just to do it, right? It says, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway, right? So you want to make sure that you're doing this thing in righteousness. You want to make sure you are actually really doing this, because you want others that see you doing this to want to do this. You want others to see where you started from and where you are and want to attain that and more and much more and be better than you. That's what you want, right? So that you don't become a castaway, right? So let's go from now. Let's get Psalms 3 and 5. Baba Kasha. Psalms 3 and 5. Where is it? Like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's see. Salaki Israel. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 3 and verse 5. It reads, I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. It says, I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Right? So David is saying that he will not be afraid of 10,000 men that surround me. When you come into this truth, you have people that for no reason other than the fact that they can't see what you see, immediately start to have a disdain towards you. Family members, just people in general, right? Or they may think that you know something that they can't learn. Well, they can get that information, but you have more people that rather scoff, and then later on, by scoffing, they'll get that information that they could have just asked you for at the very beginning, but they don't want to make it seem like you're smarter than them. So they won't ask you for that information because that means you have to teach them, and they don't want to be taught by you, right? So it says, I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. And these people have set themselves against you. Did nobody tell them to have an issue with you? You done nothing physically to them or spiritually to them. Well, spiritually you did, because a lot of these people still have demons on them. They still of the world. They're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And them demons get kind of uncomfortable when you come around, man. You coming around talking about the scriptures in the Bible and all this, that, and the third. You got your fringes on. You doing all these different things. Hey, them demons don't want to be dealing with that. They're like, hey, man, get this guy out of here, man. I can't be wicked around this person because every time I do something, I'm looking to see if they approve of it or not. No, I need more wicked people around me so that we can kind of get into this thing and have us a wicked gumbo. You know what I mean? But it says, verse 7, arise, O Yahweh, save me. O my God, for thou hast smitten all my enemies upon the cheekbone. Thou hast broken the teeth of the ungodly. It says, salvation belongeth unto the Lord. Thy blessing is upon thee, right? So let me see right here. So lock in. Start from verse 1. The book of Psalms, chapter 3 and verse 1. I Yahweh, how are they increased that trouble me? Many are they that rise up against me. Many there be which say of my soul, there is no help for him in Yahweh, man. So yeah, a lot of people that see you come into this thing, they think you just in a cult, man. Like it ain't no help for you. Like being on their side was just the bee's knees or something. Like being wicked and just drinking every day and acting a damn fool and in a damn club being a nigga was just the bee's knees. They looking at you like, damn, you talking about the scriptures, but there's no help for you. You need help. You need help by me, who is wicked. It just don't make any sense, right? So let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24. Let's get Matthew verse 24. Let's kind of keep this moving along. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 13. And it reads, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved, right? So, did he just say that, did Yahweh Shah just say in red letters that he that goes to Sunday church will be saved? Did he just say, if I leave Club 69 and go to Greater Ebenezer Presbyterian Rock Solid Church of God on Sunday at around 9:30, the preacher will save me? Is that what he said? He said, those that shall endure until the end shall be saved, right? So those that keeps the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Those that strive for the mastery of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will be saved until in the end. It says, And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness, right? So we're God's witnesses. Wherever we go and preach this word and we stand on the corners, on the highways and hedges, we're God's witnesses. Ain't no such thing as God is my witness. How is God your witness? How all of a sudden God is your witness? The scripture just said that this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So that's when the end will come, and that's when you will warrant saving. Not just by being a wicked woman or being a wicked nigga. That does not mean you're saved now. At the end, once this gospel, Isaiah 61:1, the book of Luke, many other parts in the scripture where it speaks of the gospel, when we get through preaching this to all Israel, let them know that they're the children of Israel. What happened? Let them hear the prophecies. Wake them up. Once it has been preached as a witness of Yahweh, not us, not Yahweh being our witness, unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So then you will be saved. You will warrant saving. It wouldn't just be for nothing. Because if you listen to your Christian pastor, he's going to tell you don't have to do a damn thing. You could just freak off 24/7. The Most High, he's a man. He's a God of lollipops. He's the God of candy corn, Jolly Ranchers, Swedish fish. That's what he's the God of. But he's not the God of war, which is mentioned 3,000 times in the scriptures. Of the true nature of Yahweh, Yahushai, and his prophets and the disciples. There wasn't one soft one in there. Not one. So stop that, right? So let's go from that. Let's get the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 13. This is the book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 13. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. Right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Now we just got through talking about us being hated of all men. Right? For my name's sake. Right? Because guess what? What is the Most High and Yahushua known for? Whatever they done while they was here is their name. And what are we preaching? What they done, what Yahushua done while he was here, and what Yahweh done on the earth in history. When you can find in the scriptures, and you can also find in archaeology and everywhere else, right? So we're preaching the name of Yahushua, which means the doings of Yahushua and the doings of Yahweh. It says, for my name's sake. Because if Yahushua was walking around talking about what T.D. Snakes talks about, wouldn't nobody want to kill him? Don't nobody want to kill T.D. Snakes? Don't nobody want to kill Creflo or a lot of dollars? Right? Don't nobody want to kill Foyle Olstein? Don't nobody want to kill these people because these people are pushing the agenda of wickedness, and you don't have to do nothing. Because guess what? As long as they can keep us in that church, telling us that we can be wicked, how is the refreshing going to happen? The scriptures say those that preach this word unto the nations, until the end, then the end going to come. So we preaching to the nations and against principalities, right? But guess what? As long as the majority of them still going to T.D. Snake's church and all these different wicked pastors in these different religions and indoctrinations, then guess what? The reign of the so-called white man will last longer. And that's the whole point of all this confusion. So they can keep their kingdom, because they know that they have a short time, right? It says, get back, it says, so we're going to go from there. We're going to get the book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3. Right? 2 Timothy chapter 2. I'll start at verse 3. Let's see where I want to start. Let's start at once. The book of 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, "Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Yahushua," right? So what is the grace? Grace is a time period, right? Be strong in the grace. Be strong in the time period that Yahushua promised to us, right? Because we do have grace and we do have a time period to get this thing together. But at the end of the day, guess what? You don't know how much grace you got. So you got to buckle down and you got to every day be striving to become closer and get yourself right. Because there is a grace period, but you don't know how much grace you have left. It says, verse 2, "And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses," again now, we're talking about other people being witnesses to Yahweh Yahushua, right? It says, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. So the same people that heard about me has a commitment to faithful men. They commit to faithful men, right? Who shall be able to teach others also, right? So the Most High, He left men down here that can still teach, that can teach us, that can teach you, right? Verse 3, it says, "So thou therefore," so being that you know that, that's what that means. Thou therefore, being that you know that, you know all of these things I just broke down to you from verse 1 to 2. "Endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Hamashiach." Right? So since you know that, since you know that you have grace and you're being taught by faithful men that He left behind for you to learn from, be a good soldier of Yahushua, right? It says, "No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life," right? So why are you thinking so much about what's going on or what you can strive for in this world, man? It's on your mind more than Jacob's trouble. You're not thinking about, what's your first move? Well, maybe I should get a little piece of land, man. I got a family. Maybe I should try to do this. Maybe I should try to, create with brothers something that we can depend on during that time, and also have a faith of Yahweh Yahushua, right? Or are you thinking about, damn, I want that new Mustang, that new Charger, that 2025 Navigator, or whatever the case may be. Those things ain't gonna save you in these last days, man. It says, "No man that warreth." So if you a warrior, you ain't got no time to entangle yourself with the ways of the world. You practicing, you fighting, you becoming stronger, you learning your technique. You a man of war. You ain't got no time to be worrying about Keisha, Tisha, and Leslie and all of them. Or damn Brad, Chad, damn Chuck, all these different guys, man. You're not worried about that, man. You're a warrior. You're worried about this war, right? And that's what you should be worried about. It says, "He may please him who hath chosen him," right? To be a soldier. So you have to please Yahweh Yahushua because He chose you to be a soldier in this war, man. It's a spiritual war going on right now, man. Between Esau, these other nations, man. He's steady casting spells against us. He's got us using wordplay and words against ourselves to afflict us further and cutting ourselves, and just, we don't even know what the hell going on, man. And He's banking that we don't find out. It says, "And if a man also strive for masteries," right? So we just talked about that. Didn't Paul just talk about that? Right? It says, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully? Verse 6, "The husbandman that laboreth must be first partakers of the fruits, right? So if you laboring and you planting fruits, you got to deal with them fruits, man. You got to touch them. You got to plant it. You got to water it. You got to maintain it. You got to make sure the soil good, right? You got to check the sun, make sure it ain't getting no direct sunlight 24/7 because it could burn the root. So it's a lot of different things that you got to take into consideration when you're a husbandman. And the husbandman is one that tilleth the ground and takes care of the land around his house. That's the husbandman. That's husbandry work. You're dealing with the goats and the cows and all of that. You're dealing with all of that stuff. So that's husbandry. It says, he said, but he must first be partakers of the fruits. So you got to first be partakers in what? Everything that's going on. You got to be partakers of the affliction if this is what you laboring for. That's what it means. If you're laboring and you're keeping these law, statutes, and commandments and you going out and teaching the masses, guess what? You're going to have to do what? You're going to have to partake in what comes of that. You know, there's no guarantee that you're going to make it home when you come back from teaching. There's no way. There's no way to guarantee that. So when you take that labor on, you have to be like a husbandman. And you have to partake with the people. You have to partake with your brothers that's on the left and the right side of you teaching. The ones that's holding posts. The ones that's holding the signs, right? You have to take part in that. And there's no guarantee that you're going to make it back home to your family. Because this is what you labor for, the kingdom, right? It says, verse 7, consider what I say, and the Lord give thee understanding in all things, right? Right. So let's go from that. Let's get James 5 and 11. Let's get the book of James chapter 5 and verse 11. We're going to get the first-hand man, the one that grew up with Yahushua's brother James, man. I believe James all the time, right? It's the book of James chapter 5 and verse 11. It says, behold, we count them happy which endure. Ye have heard of the patience of Job, right? So we heard of the patience of Job going through all the things he went through, right? It says, and have seen the end of the Lord, that the Lord is very pitiful and of tender mercy, right? It says, verse 12, but of all things, my brethren, swear not, neither by heaven, neither by earth, neither by any other oath, but let your yea be your yea, and your nay be your nay. So let your yes be yes, and let your no be no, lest ye fall into condemnation, man. So look, we already see that if we endure, the Most High, He's going to have mercy and tender mercy on us, because we know from the witness of Job, right? We know of the witness of David, King David. So we know from these witnesses that this is the personality of Yahweh, right? So we know that. So that's what these scriptures bring comfort, right? Because we know that. But it says, let your yea be your yea and your nay be your nay. So don't be lukewarm in this thing. Either you're going to be in or you're going to be out. And it ain't no in between. In or out. That's it. The Most High is not dealing with no double-minded or conflicted spirit, man, or no lukewarm spirit, right? The scripture say He'll spit you out. We know that, right? So let's go and let's get 1 Peter chapter 2. First Peter chapter 2 and verse 19. Well, I like to say Peter's. It's a habit, right? It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 19. It reads, 2 verse 19. For this is thankworthy if a man for conscience toward God, Salakia, for this is thankworthy, so this is worthy of thanks. If a man for conscience towards Yahweh endure grief suffering wrongfully, right? So getting shot down dead in the street, right? Being racially profiled, being last hired, first fired, right? Having all these things, our women being used as sex tools, to promote sex and violence, taking the father out the house, continuing to afflict and oppress the children of Israel, right? It says, read it again. For it is worthy of thanks if a man for conscience toward Yahweh endure grief, man. So we're going to have to endure grief. We're going to have to endure suffering. We're going to have to endure being done wrongfully. Verse 20. For what glory is it when ye be buffeted for your faults? Ye shall take it patiently, right? So yeah, man, you got to take this thing patiently, man. You know what I mean? You got to say, hey, you got fired from your job. You got all these things going on, man. Let me take this in stride. Let me not be too hasty, man. Let me not go nuts, man. I know that the Most High, he has my best interest at heart because I believe in the scriptures. I believe in the words of Yahweh by Yahweh Shah. I believe in the prophets. I fully believe and I fully put myself forward to the Most High. And I'm knowing that guess what? He's going to come back and I'm going to get repaid double fold, man. Long as I stay patient, long as I keep enduring, man. Because it's thankworthy a man that feels that way. It says, buffeted, man, for your faults. Man, if you get whooped for your faults, you shall take it patiently. You the one out there doing this, that, and the third. You get popped in your mouth. You get buffeted in your mouth. You taste that little blood in your mouth. That's the Most High buffeting you. You know what I'm saying? But what father doesn't want to buffet his child? What father doesn't want to put that belt on him? A horrible father, man. Because the scriptures say that, hey, roughly paraphrasing, that butt whooping ain't gonna kill you. It will not kill you, right? But it'll make your spirit live. It'll quicken your spirit, though, right? It says, but if when ye do well, so if you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you be a mighty man and woman of the Lord, and suffer for it. So if you out here doing this work, you get put to death. You may suffer a loss in your family. You may get sick out here, man. You might be stretched out somewhere in the hospital bed. But if you was doing that work, if you was enduring, it says, this is acceptable with Yahweh, man. So all praise to the Most High. It's acceptable with Yahweh, man. So don't worry about going through it, man, because if you're going through it, guess what, man? The Most High got you going through it. And look, if you endure, that's acceptable of the Most High, man. And that's where your confidence should come from. That's where your faith should come from. Verse 21, it says, for even hereunto, so even to me, where ye called. So even hereunto where you called, so even to the Most High you was called, because Yahweh shall also suffer for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps, man. Right? All praise to the Most High, man. So let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 2. Baba Kashaf. 2 Corinthians all praises to the Most High, man. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, chapter 8, and I'll start at verse 2. It says, how that in a great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy, and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches for their liberality. Right? So what it said at the beginning, how that in great trial of affliction, the abundance of their joy. So we going through affliction, but how do we have so much joy, right? It says, verse 3, for their power I bear record, yea, and beyond their power they were willing of themselves. Verse 4, praying us with much entreaty that we will receive the gift and take upon us the fellowship of the ministering to the saints. And this they did, not as we hope, but first gave their own selves to the Lord, man, and unto us by the will of God, man. So the saints, man, we have joyfulness in affliction, man, because we understand the gift, man. We understand the end game. We know that if we endure to the end, that the Most High has an incorruptible crown for us, man. He has a kingdom for us, man. You know, and this right here brings us comfort, man. It brings out our spirit comfort, man. You know, it makes you love your family more. It makes you love the brotherhood more. It makes you love the people that's around you more, because we all share the same faith and we all share the same understanding, and we're all headed the same direction, right? Real quick, let me get a precept real quick. Get a quick precept. Get a classic. It just kind of hit me. Ain't nothing major, right? So this is the book of Psalms. Let's see. It's the book of Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1, right? It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, right? Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, man. So yeah, so when you're around people that share the same goal and they share the same kingdom talk, they're saying, okay, look, this is what we have to do. You're gonna continue to exalt each other day in and day out. So that's what having a good brotherhood also does to you. But when you're walking in the counsel of the ungodly, the ones that's not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, the ones that don't fully believe in Yahweh Shai, those that believe that they control everything that happens in their life, those that think that they're more powerful than Yahweh Shai, those that believe that they're God. You have a lot of people that believe they're God. I'm a God. The women, I'm a goddess. All these different things, man. So that's an ungodly person, right? It says, and sitteth in the seat of the scornful, man. It says, verse 2, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. So if you delight in the Most High, you should want to meditate day and night, man. You happy to meditate. You happy to read these scriptures, man. You happy to go precept upon precept and test yourself, man. You're happy to go outside and you have a loaded biblical shotgun with unlimited shots in it, right? Because you feel confident in the word of Yahweh. So we're going to get this last precept and then we're going to shut it on down. So we're going to get the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 3. Salakia. We're going to get the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 3, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, start at 2. And sent Timotheus, our brother and minister of Yahweh, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Yahweh. We just spoke about laboring. To establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith, right? So that's what comforts you, right? The gospel of Yahweh Shai. That's going to help with your faith, reading that gospel, knowing that gospel. Verse 3, that no man should be moved by these afflictions. So don't let these afflictions move you in these last days, man. You know, don't let your boss move you. Don't let your wife move you. Don't let your children move you. Don't let your cousins move you. Don't let anybody move you. Your mama, your daddy. Anybody. Don't let anybody move you, right? By these afflictions, man. It says, for yourselves know. So for all you Israelites out there, you should know this thing. We are appointed thereunto. So we're appointed to the kingdom. We're appointed to having everlasting life. pursuant to the book of Isaiah 45 and 17 and a host of other precepts, man. So we're appointed this thing. So this thing ain't by mistake. This thing was given to us by Yahweh Shai, pursuant to the book of Romans, the 9th chapter on down, man. Everything, the covenants, the service of the Most High, right? The kingdom, salvation. This thing was already appointed to us, man. So let that be your comfort and continue to endure to the end. I'm Captain Lamech of the Service Assembly. We're going to say Shalom.